Hi, so this is the first video of Zetoumen, which is my evolving gateway language checking tool. I'm initially building it for the French gateway language team, which I'm involved in, but hoping it could be useful to other people, and eventually hoping to have all sorts of things in it. But right now, what I'm working on is a tool to look at consistency of translation of various terms. So for the sake of this demonstration, we're looking at Romans in the ULT. The idea eventually is to be able to look at multiple books, or even, for example, the whole New Testament, and look across that, but I think the interface will look similar for that, however much data is in there. So the idea is, down the left here we have all the different lemmas. We can also make it work potentially for every different word, but obviously that gives you a much every different spelling of every lemma, but that's obviously going to give you a much longer list potentially. But I mean, we could do one or the other or both. And then the idea is, if we take a word like agape and we click on it, it will show us the ways those words have been translated. I think there's still a few slightly weird things where words have been grouped together. And then if we were to click on love, for example, it would give us the references where that's been used. And if we click on that word, we can then actually look and see how each of those words appears in a particular verse. So that's really the sort of big idea. I mean, the sort of place where that might be interesting. I have to say, clicking around ULT, it looked encouragingly consistent to me compared with the French Louis II, which I'm currently looking at. So here's ethnos, which where we have words. The two major translations here are Gentiles and nations, which is fairly conventional. And so, for example, we could look at nations and see that in these three cases, where it would be very difficult to use, father of many nations, it would be very odd to use Gentiles there, and that's essentially the same quote, and made known to all the nations, it probably has to be that as well. And if we went to look at Gentiles, there's probably more of a discussion that could be had about this. So I'm not saying that this is, I'm not saying that anything needs changing here, just demonstrating that the idea of this tool is to provide a fairly easy way to look globally across a whole book, or even across a whole testament, to see how things have been translated, and then to make decisions as a team about what, if anything, to do with them. So that's where I am at the moment. As I say, I'm planning to add more features in. I'm planning to work on this feature, and will be very interested in feedback on how to make this into a more useful tool. Thank you for listening.